Jesus could have taught anywhere. A synagogue, a marketplace, even the streets of Jerusalem. He could have stayed where everyone already was. But instead, Jesus climbed a mountain. Was he simply looking for a better place to speak? Or was something much deeper happening? Because throughout the Bible, mountains are never just mountains. To understand why Jesus climbed a mountain, we have to return to the very beginning. Because the story of mountains didn't begin with Moses. It began in Eden. When most people picture the Garden of Eden, they imagine a beautiful garden. But the Bible quietly hints that it was something more. The prophet Ezekiel later describes Eden as the holy mountain of God, not simply a paradise, but the place where heaven and earth overlapped. Here, God walked with humanity. There was no temple, no priest, no sacrifice, because God's presence filled the whole garden. And that's when something remarkable begins to appear. Throughout Scripture, whenever God draws near, a mountain is often nearby. After the flood, Noah's Ark comes to rest on a mountain. A new beginning starts high above the earth. Then, another man receives an impossible command. Go to the mountain I will show you. His name was Abraham. Abraham climbs Mount Moriah, carrying wood for a sacrifice. Every step raises another question. Why would God ask for something so impossible? But on the mountain, God provides. A ram takes Isaac's place. Once again, a mountain becomes the place where heaven meets earth. Generation after generation, the pattern continues. Whenever God begins something new, a mountain appears. And then comes the greatest mountain of all. After centuries of slavery, God rescues Israel from Egypt, not to immediately give them a land, but first to bring them to a mountain. Only Moses climbs. The people remain below. Cloud, fire, thunder. The mountain becomes a bridge between heaven and earth. Here, God gives Israel the Torah, a new way to live, a new covenant. But centuries later, another teacher would climb another mountain. More than 1,000 years pass. Empires rise, empires fall. Israel waits. The covenant remains, but the kingdom seems farther away than ever. Then, Jesus begins announcing something no one expected. The kingdom of heaven has come near. Crowds begin following him. The sick are healed. The forgotten find hope. Then Matthew writes a sentence that many modern readers pass right over. Seeing the crowds, Jesus went up on the mountain. That isn't just geography. It's a signal. Matthew wants us to remember another mountain, another teacher, another covenant, another people gathered below. Sinai. But this time, something is different. Moses climbed the mountain to receive God's words. Jesus climbs the mountain to speak them. Everyone expected commandments. Instead, Jesus begins with blessings. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Everything is about to change. If Jesus is the new Moses, we might expect a new set of commandments. Instead, his first words are blessings. Blessed are the poor in spirit, those who mourn, the meek, those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. These aren't the people the world celebrates. They're the people the world often overlooks. Jesus completely reverses the world's definition of success. God's kingdom doesn't begin with the powerful. It begins with people who know they need him. Then Jesus gives his followers two surprising images. You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. Not someday, right now. Now the mountain finally makes sense. Every mountain before this pointed toward one purpose. Not simply receiving God's presence, but becoming the people who carry it into the world. Jesus didn't choose a mountain because it was a beautiful place to teach. He chose it because mountains have always been where heaven touches earth. And on this mountain, he wasn't simply explaining God's kingdom. He was beginning it. The invitation still stands. Come, listen, and become the kind of person who brings heaven to earth.